Let's welcome in head coach Pete Carroll. So, Coach, I want to start off with the Brock touchdowns. Exactly what you were looking for. Long, sustained drives. Everyone touched the ball. The pocket was protected. How do you build on that? Because that's the type of football you're looking for.
Well, it was certainly well done by the guys on the field and well called and executed and all of that. And we just, how come there wasn't 4 or 5 of those in this game, as opposed to 2, and we needed a couple more and didn't get it. We do build on those. And the rhythm that you see us have had in big successful drives, Brock's been in the middle of a lot of that,
right.
And hitting him, changing the field in some situations or just coming through with the clutch catch. He's been a big part of it. Yeah, I don't know if the fans were able to see the first touchdown pass and the little subtlety that he put in on the top of his route. Mm-hmm. He had the safety was outside of him, and he made a little break at him, gave him a little hint like he was going outside, and just spaced it out. It was perfectly open to for a great touchdown pass. But it was the subtlety that got that done because that guy was ready to jump on him.
Now, we talk about the math of a game. You just said you need 4 of them. And if you get Carlson in field goal range for 2, then you add 6, then you add another 14.
Yeah,
Isn't that the formula of how to do this?
Yeah, you're scoring 30 points. And we have a real specific concern is converting on third downs. Yeah. This third downs is what keeps those drives alive.
Right.
And when you function and you hit a couple of them, and it helps to have a chunk play in there as well on a drive to just kind of give you the advantage on that possession. But it is the conversion on third downs that we just have to improve on. And that's using the people well. That's getting the right call. It's protecting right. It's running the right route. Hitting, seeing it and hitting it and all that. It's been a little bit of a tough road for us there. We have to get better at it, and we're focusing on it. We practice the heck out of it. We just got to make sure that it carries to the game.
So it's 7-7 at the half, and you called that 59-yarder a backbreaker. It was just a tough play. What happened when you looked at the tape on the contain on the outside, trying to get Hats on the ball to stop that?
Yeah, the reason I say that to you, JT, is that we had a defense we were playing for the run. And so, sometimes on 3rd and 4 or 5, you get caught up. You're pass rushing and you're covering. You're doing some special things in the pressures, and then you get caught on a run. But this is one when Pat really had us lined up in a defense. We gave us a great shot at it, and we got on the toss play we got cracked down, and they got on the edge. And then as both Jeremy and Maul were coming across to go make the tackle from inside out, they stumbled over each other, and they fell. So we lose 2 guys in the pursuit, and then Lonnie has a chance to make the game saver, and he doesn't make that tackle. So that shouldn't have happened like that. And it wasn't so much that we couldn't come back from the fact that they scored. It was just that we had them. We should have stopped them. We should have been off the field right there, and they get a big play out of it. So it made a difference.
In their 12 of 17 on 3rd down, when you look at the coverage, the depth of the corners, blitzing or not, what'd you see that kind of takes you away from that, saying we got to be better?
Well, that's good for you people to hear. There's a subtlety to this. We are leading the NFL in 3rd and 1s. On defense, okay. And that means that and there's a bunch of those that aren't 3rd and 1, they're 3rd and 2 and 3s right in there. Where the percentages of guys being more successful is elevated from 3rd and 7s and 8s and all that. So we really look at that as we need to play better on 2nd down to keep those distances on 3rd down in the mid to higher range so that we can execute at a really high level. It's a stat I've never even noticed before because I've never been in a situation where you lead the NFL in short yardage opportunities for the opponent. And so, but the way to track it backwards is to go back to 2nd down and 1st down and get those situations going in our favor. If you notice, we're a pretty explosive defense. We make a lot of tackles for losses. Max has had a phenomenal season of doing that, and other guys have contributed as well. And we take advantage of those, and we get off the field. And you see us. We're capable of doing that in difficult situations, sudden change situations, and goal line short yards. We can do those things, but we need to minimize that by playing better on the earlier downs and making it work for us.
Caillou had a red zone interception, and Chin had a couple of big hits, especially on Herbert. How physical, Coach, was that game, and how does your team come out of that physically playing a game that's that tough?
When you play those guys, they had a chance because they were ahead to run the ball a lot in the 4th quarter, which is what you try to do when you're winning, and so it gets you a lot of line of scrimmage, mixing it up, a lot of hits and crucial tackles and gang tackling and all of the hits. We got banged around a little bit, and we came out of it okay, but and we're not hurt going into this next week so much, but it was a physical game, and that's what you expect to play, and that's kind of what happens when you're playing in division.
Caleb and Mafi's snap count overall, what'd you see? I know the fans were excited to see Caleb Rogers out there looking at the tape, and I'm assuming, as you tell us every week, which I agree with, it's going to come down to practice. Who has a better week? Not only those two, but the rest of your offensive line. Give us something there.
Yeah, well, those guys really they battled it head to head during the week and took their plays. And Caleb deserved to start after the week, and so he did. And we rotated. Mafi came in the third series, and then they rotated after that. We wanted to even it up and see the plays didn't come out exactly even, but we wanted to see them get on the field and show us what they could do. And they're a little different style athletes, so we're trying to appreciate the strengths that they bring us. Caleb did a nice job for his first time. He really did. Mafi's is a load. He's a lower center of gravity, he's a really stout guy, and he played physical and has some dominating blocks. So they both contributed to their future of playing for us. And so we'll see what happens this week. When we have those really clear opportunities to compete, I try to maximize those. I want the players to know that this is how we do it, and this is what it takes to get you playing time on all levels in all cases, but sometimes it's just more acute when it's pretty evened up. So we'll see how it goes this week and let these guys battle it out, and we'll figure it out again. They'll both play though.
Good. Before we get to the Broncos, one more on this. I want to, if you could tell our audience about the day-to-day grind which you preach. No matter what the record is, it's not going good. How they come in the building, they practice, they show up on time for meetings, they're film studying and they're practicing their tail off. What can you share with our fans about that?
Well, the rule number 3 in the program is be early, so we don't show up on time. We were always early. Okay, anybody can be on time. We need to be early. So that's just to catch you up on that one. We do have a real routine about how we do our weeks, and it starts with JT the fact that no matter what just happened the week before, a big win, a big loss, last second play, win, lose, whatever, we are developing a discipline so that when we get to Wednesday's practice, Mondays tell the truth and figure out what just happened and get on the same page and go on. Take the day off, and Tuesday the players work out. We're doing the game plans. But Wednesday we come back. It's competition Wednesday for us, and on that Wednesday the focus is getting back to the basics and the fundamentals of our game. And that's I want that focus. We keep score. Some guys win, some guys lose. There's all kinds of different competitions on different levels going on through practice to get them back into football and to leave the last experience behind us. Of course, we always want to learn from it, but we don't want to drag it into the next week. And so sometimes you're so full of yourself because of how good you do, it can carry over and distract you into the next week's prep. So Wednesday is dedicated for that. And so we bang it on pretty good. We have our one-on-ones and pass rush, one-on-ones down on the goal line, with the DBs and the receivers and those kinds of things, just to make sure that we're tuned back in and we get drawn into the competition rather than the focus elsewhere. And so matter of fact, we even finish up. The backup guys get last fives. They get the last 5 plays to see who wins the last 5 of the day. Okay. And so there's a first down competition that we go through, and then there's a third down competition on Thursday that we go through, just to end the practice on a note of competing, and that's just to keep selling the central theme of the program.
Coach, what can you say about the Broncos? 8-2 in one-score games. Their last 4 wins by a combined 10 points. I'm watching all their games in the fourth quarter. It just seems to click with under 6 minutes to go. Yeah. All these games are one-possession, 3-point games, including yours.
If the fans want to really catch one, is to go back to their Giants game and look at that finish there. They were well behind in that game, and they just found a way, one play after another. Bo, did his thing throwing the ball, but his receivers came through. Guys were catching and running. They had a lot of critical plays. They got down to 3rd and 4th down conversions they had to get to keep the ball moving, because they had to move it every time they had it, and they were able to do that. It has to give them a great deal of confidence that they're never out of a game, one, but 2, that they know how to finish. So they're a very difficult team. I don't know if our people remember our game against them at their place on Thursday night. It's a 10-7 game at the end of it, and it was a heck of a football game. And we really had opportunities. You remember we had a couple crucial penalties that called big plays back that would have been put us in scoring zones. And remember, Dante had that throw over the top that Gino laid on him that right at the 2-minute situation that would have put us in the scoring zone again. We had all kinds of opportunities. We played a really good football game against an excellent team. So we know that, and we're going to carry it into this game and see if we can't carry it over. Let me go back for a second to about last week's game. It's 7-7 at halftime in that game. We go in there tied up and had overcome a couple difficult situations. Remember Kai Blue's interception when they're going in, and then also the sudden change on the fluky pick that they get on the sidelines. Defense went right out there and stopped him on 4th down and got the ball back, which is like another turnover. They're hanging, and we went into halftime believing we're going to win that football game, and we came out. It was in that sequence where that toss play happened and kind of it changed the complexion of what was going on a bit, and we needed to bounce back from that better than we did. We're there. We're there to be close and to get in these games. Now we got to win them. We got to finish it in the fourth quarter and get our wins.
They are the least sacked team with the most sacks on defense. Don't see that too often. So that's kind of unique when you put that equation together for Denver.
They have an excellent front. Their offensive line is really good. Nix is really apt to take off and run. He's probably rushed for 350 yards or something like that during the season. He might be their leading rusher even, you know. That factor really helps the heck out of him. And then their system is really good. Sean's done a great job with getting the ball out of his hands. But even when it comes down to it, they seem to find a way, and they avoid the big negative plays, and that's what's given them the chance to win some of these games. I mean, a sack here or there would make a huge difference. So they're really working it out together well, and it's a well-oiled group right now.
Last one, Coach, 2 players. Sortana's back and Benito's having a big year. So you got 2 guys that are, like you talk about, game wreckers. If they have that type of game, how do you neutralize them?
Well, Surtain, we'll find out what their game plan is, how they're going to move him around, because they do move him around, and they try to put him where they think the ball's going, and so they know what they're doing. The coach does a nice job with them. So that's just one thing we have to deal with. The big fella coming off the edge, he's been on fire, and he had a huge play. He knocks the last play down, and they got a chance to score, and they're gonna beat him, and he knocks the ball down right out of the quarterback's hands, and that's just kind of the plays that they've come up with in this season. So those guys are problems. He'll be roaring off the edge. We got to take care of him for sure.
We're home again. You excited about that?
Yeah, I like playing home. The home games have been great, and the fans have been excellent. They've been fired up to cheer us on, and it's been loud enough to be a factor. We get some penalties on the opponents and all of that. We need to do our part, as I keep telling you, to get our wins at home, but I really look forward to playing here.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.